Before there was Butterfly Effect, before I even had the full vision for Station Manifest, there was Magus.
When I say abracadabra, I can be anything I want to.
So for those of you who have been following my story, my content, you can see that Station Manifest loosely follows an outline, but even still it's not in order. And there's a reason for that. You'll see that later on at the end of Station Manifest. But also at the same time, I'm building my own story, so I don't want to follow the outline too closely, if that makes any sense. Magus had to be the first EP because it represents initiation. It represents a spark, the catalyst of the beginning of a new story. It introduces manifestation as this form of raw, untapped power. This project sets the scene for the main character, well, me, the main character, as this being of immense psychic power in the world of Station Manifest, which is in itself a world that exists just outside of the boundaries of reality itself.
Magus means magician or sorcerer. In tarot, the magician card can mean making your dreams come true, healing in your life, thinking about spiritual things, and feeling a connection to something special. For me, that signifies raising your spiritual vibrations and enlightenment. As a master manifester, the magician brings you the tools, resources, and energy you need to make your dreams come true. Everything you need right now is at your fingertips. You have the spiritual, physical, mental, and emotional resources to manifest your desires. And when you combine them with the energy of the spiritual and earthly realms, you will become a manifestation powerhouse. The key is to bring these tools together synergistically so that the impact of what you create is greater than the separate parts. This is alchemy at its finest.
So Magus starts with Run Deep, featuring Reese LA, my best friend. It's the smooth, seductive introduction into Station Manifest. Reese LA is a character that's both like the Wizard of Oz and like a wizardly ticket master that's aiding you on this journey as I'm like wiggling myself inside your mind to seduce you in a sense, to bring you into this world of Station Manifest. So in Abracadabra, the spell is already set. I'm already inside your mind and you're already in my world of Station Manifest.
Cause that's what I want. Everything that I see.
There's no escape at this point. So basically Abracadabra is just a feel-good song about manifestation. It's about creating your own success and enjoyment in life by essentially speaking what you want into existence. Abracadabra in this song for me is just a fun way of saying your words are spells. You have to be careful sometimes about the things that you wish for in your life. But for the most part, whatever you want, just speak it into existence. As long as you put the hard work into it and you go for what you want, I don't think that any of your dreams are truly out of reach. There are some that are a little more difficult than others, obviously. But for the most part, just work hard for what you want and what you want to do in life. You can do anything that you say that you want to do, and I really truly believe that, and that's why I wrote Abracadabra the way that I did.
To level up your mindset, I know you hear the devil call. Keep your wits about, don't fall.
And then Keep Your Wits About with Donnie Goats, actually. I wrote this song as my take on like a conscious rap song. The meaning behind this song is that there's so many things and people and distractions that want to keep you from your life's true purpose and your mission. You know, there's always somebody or something that wants to get in the way of what you're trying to do. But in this song, I'm saying you need to keep focused. You need to keep your wits about, you know, stay focused, keep your mind on the mission, and just don't fall into negative thinking, negative habits, your vices, your emotions. Don't let anything pull you in, you know, just stay focused. I know that it's hard sometimes. I fall into my own vices, you know, but I've worked really hard to get to where I am today. And it's been a long road, you know, but just keep focused. So with this song, you know, it ties into Butterfly Effect, because essentially the Magus character in this project, he does fall in. And we see that into the next track, the first track of Butterfly Effect, which is called Love is a Drug. So, I mean, it's not a spoiler, I guess, because I've already released the track list for Butterfly Effect. So, Love is a Drug. Essentially, love is the vice that the Magus character is falling into. The Magus falls in love. To touch on that a little bit, you know, obviously, love is a drug. It's not a good type of love. So that's where we're going with this story. Magus was intended to be much longer, but me being myself, after I listened to my demos over and over and over again, I start to hate them. And so the songs that I start to hate, they just take off of the project without even thinking about it. You know, if I don't like it, I'm not going to release it. So I scrapped about 3 songs. And so we were only left with 3 songs for this project. You know, and I could have went back in and reworked some of those songs, but I didn't because I was rushing myself. You know, in 2023, I had already released not Magus, Morgan, and I was feeling the pressure. And let me just say, nobody was pressuring me to do anything. It was just myself. You know, I was reading things online about, oh, you're supposed to, as an independent artist, you're supposed to be releasing this so many times a month or whatever. And, you know, and it wasn't many people that had started listening to my music, but it was a good amount, you know, especially for me just starting to release my music to major platforms. And I felt pressured again by myself to get music out. So I just released Magus as it was, 3 songs, so that I can move on to the next project as quickly as possible. So I never got to do any visuals or any live performances or really anything for this project because I was just rushing through it. But at some point the universe told me to slow it down. You know, take a breath, step back, slow it down, and really just try to work on the next project. The next project, well, this project, the Butterfly Effect, wasn't supposed to be the Butterfly Effect. It had another name with some different songs on it, and it was in a completely different direction. But giving myself peace and more time to really think about what I wanted to say and how I wanted this project to evolve and into itself. Butterfly Effect essentially built itself after a while. You know, I took the time off and the project built itself, like literally, you know, it was kind of a magical creation experience, if you can put those words in that sort of order. And looking back, I really do love Magus. You know, it's just 3 songs, but it does say everything that I wanted to say in Magus. You know, it does represent initiation. It represents the first spark of the project, a true introduction to the character that I wanted to create. It's the perfect intro for Station Manifest. And this is what I wanted to say without it being overly drawn out. You know, looking back now, I can't imagine Magus as like a 5-7 song project. it had to be 3 songs, 3 being my favorite number, So in a way, it really worked out in itself. God had a plan for this project, and it was to be 3 songs. And I am grateful for this project because it really shaped Station Manifest for the better. For a long time after releasing Magus, the EP, I didn't listen to it. It wasn't ashamed. I just wasn't happy with it. So there was a long period of time that I didn't actually listen to it. And then when I did, I really gained a newfound appreciation for Magus. And actually, a lot more people listened to the project than I expected. So I'm really grateful for that too. Especially since I gave no effort to market it. I did a few little posts here, shared a few links there, but I really didn't put any effort into marketing it. And I probably should have. I really dropped the ball on that. But it's never too late to market songs, especially since I'm not gonna say no one, but there's more people in the world that don't know about it than the people that actually do. So I will continue to market it here in the present and in the future as well. And so that brings me to, if you guys have any requests, like if you want me to do like a live performance of any of the songs, just let me know in the comments. Let me know which of those tracks are your favorite one. And if you haven't listened to any of them, well, please go check them out. It's on all platforms. It's also here on YouTube. I'm going to see if I can make like a card here. I'm going to try to figure that out so that you can just go listen to Magus here as well. But that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for listening to me rant and rave about my music. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. So until next time, peace.